So for today's topic, if I were a betting man, I'd say that it's safe to say that peak cruising season has officially started. Why, you may ask? Because we have pier runners. Now, I'm going to show you the full video clip that's available. It's about 2 minutes and some change for your entertainment. And, well, unfortunately, this is the first set of Poor Devils. It won't be the last during this 2025 season. However, we'll watch the video. I'll go over the details available in this unfortunate conundrum, as well as give you some tips. That way you can avoid not being like these passengers that unfortunately have missed their cruise ship. Oh, and by the way, for all of you high rollers out there, today's video is sponsored by the Golden Nugget online casino app, but more on that later. Man, talk about unfortunate and honestly a little embarrassing. Now, just for reference, this incident took place on board Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. It was initially built and launched back in 1997. However, it underwent a refurbishment in 2016 to become all bright and shiny and new again. It has 12 decks and holds just over 2,400 passengers at full capacity, minus 2, meaning the passengers that ended up unfortunately getting left. Now, apparently the 2 passengers that you saw being late getting back to Rhapsody of the Seas and eventually left, maybe they were a couple, maybe they weren't, were over 30 minutes late getting back over to the ship. We know this because it has been confirmed by multiple sources that the captain decided to wait an extra 30 minutes before pulling the gangway up. That's the little bridge to get back on from land to the ship. Now, this is pretty standard for most port of calls. Typically, when a ship is docked at any of these ports or calls or islands, they will usually wait anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending if you're somewhere like St. Kitts or maybe in Cozumel, Mexico, where it's kind of expected and baked in the cake that there are going to be some stragglers. People have been drinking, they lost track of time, but don't marry this. I would always suggest for all of you to get back to the ship within a timely manner, roughly between an hour or maybe at the very most 30 minutes before the ship is supposed to have everybody all aboard. Now, there are a couple more important points that I want to touch on that all of you should pay attention to when it comes to possibly getting left by a cruise ship. However, while everybody is mocking and laughing at these poor souls that unfortunately now have to either fly their way back home or to the next port of call, I do have to acknowledge that they will not be able to enjoy the festivities on board Rhapsody of the Seas for the rest of their cruise. Not even the casino. However, have no fear, because they do thankfully have today's sponsor, our Golden Nugget online casino app, to use. So I am delighted and happy to say that today's video is sponsored by and in partnership with the Golden Nugget online casino. So here's the deal. The Golden Nugget online casino has all of your casino favorites available right on your phone. How convenient. I'm talking about over 300 real money games, from slots, blackjack, roulette, and even live dealers. Basically, think of Las Vegas, available to you right in the comfort of your own home. The reality is, most of us can't just go on vacation willy-nilly at the drop of a hat, take a cruise, and get our casino fix in. This is where the Golden Nugget online casino comes into play. The beautiful part about all this is signing up is actually really simple and convenient to do. All you have to do is download the Golden Nugget online casino app on your phone right now and use the promo code SHIPLIFE. If any of you fine folk out there happen to be new to the app, all you have to pay is $5 and you'll get 250 spins on a feature game, plus a 24-hour backup up to 1,000 casino credits. Right now is your moment to make any moment a golden moment with the Golden Nugget online casino app. Anyway, Golden Nugget online casino, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the main topic at hand. Let's talk about what happens when you actually get left by a cruise ship, as well as some other useful tips that you can implement for yourself to avoid suffering that very, very tragic and, like I said, embarrassing fate. So there are technically two scenarios when it comes to getting left by a cruise ship. Either one, you are going to have your passport, or you are not going to have your passport. Let's hope you actually have your passport, because it's going to make the process somewhat easier. If you don't, well, you're going to deal with a lot of potential complications. When you get left by the cruise ship, there is typically going to be some type of port agent to assist you over at the port. From there, they will take you to some type of official building, a government building, or a U.S. embassy if there is one available at that specific port of call or island. From there, depending on where you want to go or even can go, let's say the ship is stopping in another nearby port, you can pay out of your own pocket to fly over to that next port of call and rejoin the ship. Or you can fly back to the home port where the ship was originally docked at, in case you want to get your belongings, which is probably advisable. There are some people that maybe fly home and they have a way to send for their things to get picked up over at the cruise port and sit back over to their home. Either way, no matter which way you spin it, it's not going to be a fun and enjoyable experience. Now, if you don't have your passport, well, there's going to be a lot of documentation, a lot of paperwork, potentially a lot of fees and other problems that could arise in order for you to just simply go back from that cruise port which you got left at all the way back home. Now, here's how you can avoid this situation altogether. Believe it or not, you can be a responsible adult. There are two different types of time that you'll typically see in these ports of call. There is the ship's time, and then depending on what island or port of call you're visiting, they may have the land or local or island time. There can be an hour or more difference in time when it comes to the ship time versus the land or local time. So you have to be attentive as well. Whenever you arrive in the port of call, the captain or the cruise director, somebody will make an announcement as far as what time all aboard is, meaning what time all the passengers need to be back on board the ship before that gangway, that little bridge goes up and the cruise ship goes bye-bye. Also, aside from paying attention to the time, also make sure you are organized and responsible as far as your excursions. A lot of people will typically book their excursion directly with the excursion team with the cruise line because, yes, the cruise lines, they do sell the idea, which is for the most part true, but you will pay at times a little bit more of a premium that you will not get left should there be any issues as opposed to booking a private excursion. But nonetheless, make sure that excursion that you are doing, at least as far as the operators, are organized in the event of an emergency. Do they know what time you're coming back? All that jazz in the event something should happen. Even if you are not taking an excursion, obviously that is completely fine. Go get a lay of the land, check out the local area. However, for me, I would personally advise that you try to be back in the port area somewhere, you know, where they sell all of the trinkets and memorabilia and keychains. That way, should something happen or should you want to do some additional shopping or if there is any type of mishap, you can still make it back to the ship on time. Anyway, that's all we have for today's video. I hope you found all of this entertaining and enjoyable and valuable in some kind of way. If you did, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already, of course. And know as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.